Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's session of Ask Zak. And in this next 2 weeks, we're going to focus on pigs and our pig farming operations. And tonight's subject is how to give your piglets the best head start. Now, first of all, we need to start preparing before the piglets arrive. And that starts with our sows. Now, very important, 2 weeks before she farrows, we start introducing her to the lactation feed, the pig lactation feed. Very important. Remember, as those animals, those little piglets grow in the mother's belly, they're going to take up more and more space, and she's not going to be able to consume as big amounts of feed as she usually does. So that's why we give the lactation. The lactation is very high in nutrients. It's a much denser feed because it needs to be able to supply the sow with enough nutrients to take care of herself and produce milk for her piglets. So the pig lactation is a more nutritional dense feed, so she doesn't have to eat as much to get the energy and nutrients that she usually needs for proper growth and development. The next thing that is important is we want her to build up reserves. And with that, of course, we don't want to change that sow's feed the day those piglets are born. That is a shock on our system. So if we do it 2 weeks beforehand, we make sure her stomach is ready and settled with the new feed. And when those piglets are born, she can focus on taking care of them. Now the next step is, of course, when the piglets arrive on that day, you want to be there. Now the big thing is, yes, Mother Nature takes care of a lot of things, but if you want a little bit more of a head start, when those piglets arrive, when they're newly born, try and dry them off. The quicker we can dry them off, the quicker that piglet can focus on getting warm and drinking milk and growing. The faster we can make that process, the quicker that piglet's going to grow. So if we arrive there with a good clean towel or something like perlite, which is a powder, like a baby powder that you powder those piglets with, we dry them much quicker and they can focus on drinking and growing. You'd be amazed to see the difference between a piglet that's been dried and a piglet that's been left to dry naturally. It takes a while longer for that piglet to get going. And of course, within 7 days after birth, we want to give them an iron injection. Piglets are usually born with iron deficiency, and we need to supplement those piglets with an iron injection. You can usually see it, those piglets are very pale, like myself in the winter, but you want a very nice pink piglet. That's a good indication of a healthy little piglet. And then, of course, after 10 days, you can start introducing them to feed. We're talking about a creep feed, same principle that we use with our cattle, we have with our pigs. Those little bits of ALZU, ALZU 1 and ALZU 2 that we give them, starts to develop the stomach, so when they go over to a full ration of pig feed, there is no shock on their system. They're already used to it. Their tummies don't need to develop all of a sudden. And with that, you take a little bit of stress off the sow. They don't consume that much milk, and you can get the sow back into production quicker because her reserves haven't been depleted to nothing. So very important, guys. For more information, pop into your nearest ALZU one-stop shop, or get the number of your nearest technical advisor for more information. From my side, have a good evening. Till next week, same time, same place.